This is a presentation of the United States Australian Football League, the USAFL.
I'll take fullback, okay? Alex C, back pocket, okay?
Hey, boys. All right. Use your voice all day. Use your voice, okay? Swannaroos on three. 1, 2, 3. Swannaroos. Let's go, boys. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Strong in that corner was fantastic.
This is a presentation of the United States Australian Football League, the USAFL.
Hello, I'm your host, Peter, and joining me is a player of some note, Dan Sarbacher. Hey Dan, how's it going? Great. We're set for a matchup here that's going to start in just a few seconds between the Des Moines Roosters and the Fort Lauderdale Squids. Gorgeous conditions, a little bit of a breeze. What should we be looking for today, Dan?
Yeah, at this point, tournament's well underway, not an early morning start, so these sides have had plenty of time to get out of bed, have a proper breakfast, warm up. I'd expect hot starts from both of these sides, and we're in for a treat, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So the ball up happened, and the first whistle, seconds into the game, has already happened. I'm not sure. Looked like just a restart here, which is very nice of him to do since we weren't quite ready to move kind of slowly. Not a lot of room to operate there in the middle as the ball is held to Des Moines. Bit of ping pong going on. Not a whole lot of space still. Hand pass out the back. Love seeing that for a lot of it down, was able to tap it to number 69 there. Taken away. Looks like he had his pocket picked by the Des Moines backman, and a nice shepherd there too. Ground. Not sure who's going to control the footy. Kick off the deck, goes all between the legs of the Fort Lauderdale player. Des Moines just trying to drive the ball forward. Just keep going, just keep driving it forward. Give us the space we need. Fort Lauderdale not giving an inch. Ball still loose, still loose. Des Moines finally gets a kick away. Might have been touched, maybe not. We're going to find out. It looks like it's play on. Des Moines still driving the ball forward. Just some desperation with a lot of pressure from Fort Lauderdale. Bit of space now. A short to his advantage. No, it's not. Des Moines back and ready to nice hand pass out to Jake Judge. Jake Judge kicks it into space. Foot race now. He's under a bit of pressure. Don't argue. Gave him some space. Hand pass to not sure who, but taken by number 2. I believe that's Joey Abdallah. And we've got a stoppage. Looks like, was that a late hit? I was reading the name of Abdallah while that happened. But
Yes, signaled as a ball up.
Okay.
Both sides, they got the ball opened up and free, but for the most part, the ruck's colliding, the ball coming straight down, bodies diving on top of it, and there's not been instance on the far boundary.
Absolutely, absolutely. So mark taken here by Des Moines. Kind of wobbly old kick down the wing. Looks like it was intended for number 77 there, the big fella, but hand pass forward. Again, very scrappy at this stage. I think some of the nerves, maybe in some of that soreness from the morning is probably penetrating kick to a one-on-one contest taken by the fullback. Kind of manhandled over the boundary. Looks like we're going to, no, free kick. Holding the ball, looks like.
Pinned into the pocket there. It'll be interesting to see how he approaches this kick. Not a torp. He's going with a straight kick, but he's a lefty, which helps a little bit from that position. Tough kicking into that wind, too.
Yep.
Just for a behind.
So behind so far. So that's 0 goals, 1 behind for Des Moines, 0 for Fort Lauderdale. Wobbly, okay, what's going on? I'm not sure what happened there.
Umpires weren't ready for that restart, so I think they're going to bring it back for another
Got it.
kick out for the Squids. Looks like one of the umpire trainees in the middle there. So Brian explained this on an earlier broadcast. Umpires wearing green, except for those in orange who are trainees working on certifications here at Nationals. They would have been through a clinic, 3+ hour clinic yesterday afternoon, working on their umpiring certification. So the fellow in orange there's getting his training and observations done.
And as we know, we cannot play the game without them. So thanks for their assistance as always. A nice short chip kick to number 4 for Des Moines. That is also Jake Vanderplug. He's got a big kick, not so much this time. A little wobbly. Not sure who that was intended for, but looks like it's going to be pretty much engulfed by Fort Lauderdale. Des Moines not able to really get any space, and it's kind of punched out. And we've got a free for Fort Lauderdale. Kind of about 10 meters in front of the goal square, looks like.
Game has a feel of a whole bunch of falls. Sides been able to really string a bunch of consistent passes together. The contests on the ground not yielding much either. So we're really waiting to see who's going to break this game open a little bit here with some clean hands, clean kicks. And there's evidence of it right there.
You asked for it, you got it.
Make contact, so that's a tackle.
Yep, every time. It's great that the player, his opponent, was play on, so a nice quick chip to Joey Abadallah.
Clean kick, clean hands back the other direction now, so maybe that raised test.
Probably an ill-advised hand pass, really up high, kind of hung it up there, but luckily the number 7 was alone. Number 7, that's Chris Kelly. He plays for Kansas City. Fort Lauderdale looks like giving it to him. That kick out went right to number, was that 55? Number 55, Sean. Oh, Chico. I didn't recognize him. He got a haircut. Oh, it's 59 rather, sorry. Not on my written roster here. 59, I'm sure he's a lovely guy. A little playing around with the footy there in a space where you should try to kick for goals. I'm not sure what got whistled.
That's a throw there, so improper execution of a handball under pressure, so it counts as a tackle. Turnover there. I'd like to see Des Moines be a little more threatening with their use of the ball. They're getting plenty of possessions here along kind of the midfield area just outside their attacking 50, but they haven't been dangerous about where they've decided to send it in. Stuff over to the boundaries. Not the type of
terribly organized, but it's really hard to, if you're their opponent, to drive the ball forward.
See who's wearing number 1 for Des Moines.
Number 1 for Des Moines.
Jacob Gross there on the tackle on the far side. Ball spills over the boundary, so we have a boundary throw. Actually, we're going to redo that one. Umpire got that one a little low and caught into the wind and just took it right back to the turf. So redo on the boundary throw.
Wind picking up a bit. Not really in any one direction just yet, but kind of whipping around, probably with the heat. Nice big kick way up in the air. Des Moines, the Fort Lauderdale player all by himself. Looks like it's going to be a big penetrating kick. Nice mark. Looks like he took it off, bounced on the ground. Umpire's going to adjudicate that a mark, which is, in my opinion, the right decision.
Big grab by 44 there.
Yeah.
Very, very penetrating kick off a half forward. Don't have a number for him, unfortunately. So 84, my apologies, 84.
Don't have 84 either.
We don't have. But nice grab. He held it almost all the way to the ground. Plenty to pay the mark, and rewards his side with 6.
Yeah, that's a great penetrating kick. I mean, right through the middle, as easy as you do, and he was under a lot of pressure to take that mark.
What I loved about that, and we actually haven't seen much of in a number of games that Brian and I called 4 in a row here, his lead was to a beautiful spot. Back to the fat side. The play had been pinned along the far boundary, as it's been quite a bit of the day. And teams naturally sort of stuck on that side. But as the Squids picked up that ball, the immediate interest in getting back into the corridor and the lead out from goal a little bit to the fat side, that's where the space was, and he took a big grab and kicked a major for it.
Yeah, got rewarded for that. Tab kick goes right, pretty much straight up in the air, taken by Des Moines, number 17, who's running along. That's Logan Gracie. Not sure has a footy now, but a little chip kick right in front. The full forward was kind of waiting for the footy to come to him. Luckily, it got to his hands. Looks like that kick was smothered. Play on, says the umpire. Kick from the pocket. Never goes through the post, so it looks like it's play on. Fort Lauderdale backman takes a bounce. Big kick, kind of wobbly to 3 Des Moines players, and number 46. That's ill-advised as well. We don't like to let the ball bounce if we don't have. Really, looks like it was going to go to the boundary line, guess not, and it ended up going down the boundary line. Number 16, Simon Kornberg, was going to try to take that mark, got over his shoulder, and just kind of lost it.
Out for a throw there. Squids figuring out the secret here. There's a ton of space on this near boundary because of how play gets stuck on the far side. They were able to string a few kicks together and execute those without much risk, without much danger, and so they worked themselves all the way into the forward. Not quite pocket, right on the edge of the 50 for a ball up. They would have loved that result in the build-up and a chance to go inside 50 here.
So another ball up coming. Kind of about the half-forward flank. Taps don't really send it in any one direction, but the kick certainly does. High, tumbling kick right into the goal square, punched away over the boundary line for another throw in there in the back pocket.
Squid's starting to come alive here. Better use with the wind at their back. You can tell they're getting a little more purchase on their kick, which is allowing them to stretch the field a little bit better, and they're finding pockets to work into because of that.
Yep. Boundary line throw in, kind of punched away. Umpire says you held his jumper. You can't do that. So we're going to have a free kick to Fort Lauderdale.
Tight angle here, wind directly at his back, so he's got to make sure he steers this through and probably doesn't start one direction or the other too much either way, because the wind is probably directly at his back from the angle he's at.
1 or 2 steps, may go across the face of goal. Umpire says, I've got it, and it's a behind.
Yeah, that looked like it started left and was just going to stay left. The wind wasn't going to help steer that at all for him. So
kick up coming soon. Right now on the Cooper scoreboard, we've got 2 behinds for Fort Lauderdale. 1 goal, 1, 7 points for Des Moines. So the fullback for Des Moines running out into the pocket, trying to get himself as much distance on that first kick. Looks like it went over the boundary line. Waiting for, looks like we've got a boundary line throw in. Coming. Pretty far away. Nice tap from the Des Moines ruckman there, but it looks like it's going to go over the boundary line again. Trying to figure out, here comes the boundary line. Here's the nice big tap. Bounced around, number 7. It looks like he's going to get, no, he's kind of engulfed again, getting scrappy again. There's a foot race there. The Des Moines backman looks like he's got a little bit of space. Kicks it kind of straight up in the air, but luckily the wind held it up enough, so number 47, Darren Banks, was able to take that mark. Waiting for the guys to get organized. Lead's coming. Tumbling kick. Looks like it was intended for number 85. Wasn't able to take it. Des Moines now using that space. Oh, wobbly kick. Looks like came off his foot. Right along the ground. Not taken cleanly. Engulfed by 2.5 players there from Des Moines. Looks like we're going to have a ball up.
I like Des Moines' choice, trying to build out there a moment ago, targeting this near side where the space was. The switch was on. That was a low-risk time to come out this direction. They nearly made it work, although the kick up through the guts didn't help them. Squid's able to rebound here, and they had another major.
Right, so yeah, a quick passage of play there for a kick. Again, a tumbling, kind of an odd-looking kick, but hey, it doesn't matter if it goes through the sticks, at least the way I adjudicate it. So now we've got 2 goals, 1 behind. That's 13 points to 2 behinds.
Squid's starting to find a little bit of a rhythm here. That was just a transition play goal, rebound goal, but they've found some more instances where they're able to connect kick to kick. Their handballs have been starting to work for them, and you're seeing the results on the scoreboard. Des Moines will be looking to try to steady here, minimize the damage, working against the wind a little bit, although at times it's a little more of a crosswind, and then get back to what they were doing earlier in the game where they had better use of the ball.
Yep, so a kick, a passage play on that looks like, was that kicked off the ground?
That should be a goal. I think that was great individual effort and a turn by the full forward or forward pocket there, able to chase that ball in over play. Again, we said earlier, the ball's just got more purchase and carries a little more. Bounce over their heads. Ball carried just a little bit further, and the Squid forward there with the pace was able to get onto it.
Yeah, that's right. So now we've got 3 goals, so kind of piling on here. The Squids.
Des Moines needs to step up here quickly, apply some pressure to stem the flow here. They don't want to get too far out of reach. In the first half, it just would be too much to overcome going into second half if they're 4 or 5 goals down.
That's right. In this Lightning tournament, we're only doing 20-minute halves, so essentially half games. Once you're down by a couple goals, it's very difficult to draw that back. So kick into the forward pocket there of Des Moines is gathered by the Fort Lauderdale player. A kind of a wobbly kick does find another Fort Lauderdale player kicked into space, not quite taken cleanly. Not sure who that was intended for, but they got numbers around the footy. Des Moines looks like we had someone pulling the jumper a little bit too much. So we're going to get a free.
Jake Judge there kept his nose over the football, kept working towards it, and I think the Squid defender probably got away with the first 1, 2, 3 pulls, but by the 4th, the umpire was like, no, all right, we're done. You've been impeding him.
Yeah. So kick into 2, taken cleanly by, can't see the number just yet, but Des Moines looks like they're going to now transition into attack with a kick right at about center half forward into a pack of players. No one taking it cleanly. Whistle blown.
Trying to figure out what we haven't seen the signal yet from the umpire.
No.
It must have called hands in the back on the Des Moines offensive player. A little bit harsh on that. I thought he actually held his space well. It wasn't a push, just kept his arms out to protect his space, as is legal. But a little bit harsh from the trainee umpire there.
All in the past and lost to history at this stage because the kick is now in pretty much the center of the ground down the wing, on the other far wing from the commentary booth. Kicked along the ground, out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
First half winding down here, like we talked about, Des Moines might have stemmed the tide a little bit here. If they can keep the pressure on and keep moving forward, maybe find a goal before end of half. They're definitely still in touch, but they'd be happier going into halftime with 1 major score on the board. That's
right. And that can keep the players from getting deflated as they're coming off the half, like what do we do? If we end it with a goal at that nice positive note, will mean a lot to what they tried to do in the opening minutes of the second half. So a boundary throw in, big punch by the ruckman down the far wing. A little bit of a push, but not too much. Des Moines kicking it right back to the other side of the center square, down that far wing, taken by Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's going to try to do something with it. Just trying to, nice mark taken by the big. Looks like the number 4, Aaron Bloom.
Bloom with a big contested mark there after that intercept mark along their halfback line.
So taken a big kick coming out from the Roosters halfback. Not taken clean by anyone. A lot of the ball just bouncing around. Just not a lot of space to work with. 4, 5, 6 Roosters players around the footy, just trying to get themselves organized. Here we go. Bit of space, but a whistle gets blown. Maybe late or high contact.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of the signals from the umpire. He's working on his his certification, and I think probably one of the pieces of feedback will be very clear, demonstrative signals so the crowd and announcers know what's going on, and players know what he's calling.
Yeah, exactly. So passage of play, a nice chip kick, kind of an errant bounce, but errant in the right way into the hands of the Fort Lauderdale full forward. So he had an open goal with no one in front of him. So an easy 6 points or a major score taken by Fort Lauderdale, which who are now extending their lead, 4-1, and a number to 2 behinds, 2 points.
I think if you're the Squids, you're getting pretty much what you want at this point. 4 goals so far in this half. They're applying the pressure where they can. The defense is held up for the most part, really not allowing Des Moines any access. And where they've been able, the Squids have been able to connect kicks and passes and work the ball forward. They had the one big mark, but a couple of goals that were just kind of hard work goals, those blue-collar goals, working the football off the ground, picking it up, throwing it on the sticks.
You know, something else I've noticed, though, all those goals have come from a breakout in where for Fort Lauderdale's able to, they have space.
And you're right, that's that transition play we talk about, and teams I coach, we often talk about that accordion effect. When you take possession of the ball, you need to expand like an accordion does. When you've been compressed on defense, you need to find those open pockets that you can work into. And I think you're right. They got that working better than their opposition in that half, and it shows on the scoreboard.
All right, so we're ready for the break. The halftime score is 4-1, 25 points to 2 behinds, 2 points. We'll be back in just a few minutes here at Onion Creek at the USAFL Nationals. Thank you.
The USAFL 2024 Nationals is brought to you by Tasmania, the quiet pursuit of the extraordinary. Cooper's, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Visit Austin, live music capital of the world. Aussie Sports USA, the official apparel provider of the USAFL. Qantas Airlines, the spirit of Australia. The Australian Consulate General, Houston. Three Cuts Gin. Odin Mortgage and Tax. CyberSolve IQ, the inaugural cybersecurity partner of the USAFL. And by USAFL Foundation. Play on.
Well, welcome back for the second half of Des Moines versus Fort Lauderdale Fighting Squids here at the Onion Creek Soccer Complex here in beautiful Austin, Texas. Before we get the center bounce here, I want to get a couple of sponsors mentioned here. Tasmanian, the Quiet Pursuit of Extraordinary, Cooper's, Australian-made, Australian-owned Cooper's Beer. Visit Austin. Live music capital of the world, Aussie Sports USA, the official apparel provider of the USAFL. Qantas Airlines, the Spirit of Australia, the Australian Consulate General down the road in Houston, Three Cuts Gin, Odin Mortgage and Tax, CyberSolve IQ, the inaugural cybersecurity partner of the USAFL, and the USAFL Foundation. Play on.
Yeah, huge thanks to all the sponsors. We obviously can't do these sorts of events without them. I had the pleasure of meeting Chris Ruff last night, Managing Director of CyberSolve IQ. It was wonderful to get to chat with him for a few minutes and learn about his business and hear in his mind why it's important to get involved with the USAFL. So that was fun for me. Gave me a little insight into the minds of the sponsor and why they want to attach to our events in our league.
Yeah, and it's pretty validating when you have notable companies like them, Tasmanian, the others, to they see a value in promoting themselves to our sport, the sport that we love a lot. And yeah, glad they're with us.
Yeah, they provide a lot of opportunities for exactly what we're listening to and witnessing right now on the field. So
absolutely. So we had the restart in the second half. No score just yet. Looks like Des Moines is going to clean this ball out of their halfback. Actually, I'm wrong. That looks like that got collected by a Squids player, like waiting patiently to get that hand pass off. Unfortunately, the recipient of that hand pass didn't get a clean kick. 3 Des Moines players around the footy against 1 Fighting Squid. Still trying to get organized here. Looks like that tackle might have collected a head there, but the player's up on his feet again. Des Moines with a bit of space, a bounce down the wing, a second bounce. Under a bit of pressure, hand passing out to space is not something we've seen from Des Moines a whole lot. Unfortunately, not a lot of organization there, but another hand pass down into space. A kick into space across that Des Moines half forward. Bit of coaching going on at halftime, I'm thinking.
100%. You took the words right out of my mouth, but nice segue because how do you move the ball up the field when the kick isn't working with hands? And if the hands aren't working, run and have a bounce. So up the wing there for Des Moines with pace, probably 60 meters gained just with the one player there. So that was fantastic.
Yep.
First half, Squids more marks, more contested marks. Des Moines maybe making the adjustment at halftime, realizing, hey, we're not competing in the air as well as our opponents. We can either get better at that or we can find different ways around it, and they did that right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Squids were able to stop that last attack from Des Moines. A kick down the wing, didn't hit its target, landed right into the halfback flanker from Des Moines. He sends it right up down the wing, no switch there, into the hands of a Squid player. Is going to probably send it right back down the wing. Aerial ping pong, as they say. Punched away to ground. Still no organization, just bodies piling into that contest around the footy. Looks like no clean disposal there, but the umpire says play on, and play on they do. Hand pass to their number 7, Chris Kelly from Kansas City.
Geez, that was a beautiful delivery into forward 50. Pace of the full forward, they're not quite matched with where the kick was delivered, but the forward entry rebounded out. He's going to get a second crack at it right here.
So the penetrating kick there over the head of the full forward. It looks like it's going to pound. No, not through the behind post. Cleaned up by the Des Moines player. He's just going to try to just get it out of the danger zone. Collected by Des Moines. Des Moines, hand pass over the top. Probably should have been a kick right there. To number 85, who does have a kick. Sends it through. And Des Moines have their first major score of the afternoon.
Des Moines rewarded for their pressure there. 3 forward 50 entries. Squids bending, not breaking, rebound twice, but on the third time, Des Moines cracks through. So that's that pressure along the half forward and midfield lines as that ball gets rebounded from the opposition's defense. They're there to collect it. So Squids under a little bit of pressure there, maybe not keeping the coolest heads and finding that outlet pass and connecting it rather than just blazing away. Easier possessions then for Des Moines along that half forward line outside 50. They go back in, they find that spot here on the near side where it's easier to direct that ball in with the wind, and they get a goal for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8 points to 4 goals, 125 points. The center bounce favors the Fighting Squids, who are driving it forward. It looks like holding the ball was the call. Might be a little bit harsh, but here we are.
Nice tackle. He might have gotten away with hands there, but umpire thought differently, that the tackle was applied and stopped his progress.
So a kick to the number 7. We mentioned him before, number 7, Chris Kelly. Decides, I want to send it long, fellas. Come get it. So right over the top, that's number 1 chasing. A little leg race. Jacob Gross has a shot for goal. Looks like it's across the face of goals. So out on the full, this will be a free to Fort Lauderdale.
Gross using his pace here to rack up those possessions. Same thing we talked about in the first half. Teams on your broadcast, left to right, west to east, from the working towards the Onion Creek end, getting a little more purchase on your kick. Watch, you'll see those balls fly over the marking contest more often than not, because that ball's just sailing just 1 or 2 meters further with the wind, and Des Moines able to take advantage by collecting it on the backside.
So a nice quick collection by Jacob with a quick hand pass to Jake. That's Jake Judge. So that's confusing. Jacob to Jake, ultimately going, looks like, out of bounds.
Gross 4 quick possessions there in the last about minute and a half. He's running hot, and I think that's a good sign, good omen for Des Moines. They obviously want the football in his hands. He's got a good penetrating kick in the forward 50 entries, and he's picking the football up off the ground, and he's covering a lot of meters to be an option.
Right, so we've got a boundary line throw in coming here. The ball is really high. A tap that favors Des Moines, picked off by the Squids player. I think it's probably a push in the back. It looked like the players just kind of fell over each other there. I mean, from this vantage point, we're pretty far away. The umpire obviously right on top of it, so we got to go with his opinion on things, as we always do.
Signals a kick for Des Moines. We're still not precisely sure exactly what the call is, but we have the spot and we have the team. And I think that's Gross again with the free kick.
It is. So a good-looking kick. Goal umpire says, yes, it is a good-looking kick. So that's 2 goals now unanswered. That's got to be pretty good. Pretty good if you're feeling if you're playing for Des Moines, you got to be feeling pretty good about that, right?
Yeah. Umpire tips his head straight back like he's getting his hair done in the salon. So that means the kick went straight over his head from where he was positioned. So Gross converts there for Des Moines. 2 kicks in a row. They're clawing back into this game. You had that sense if they could keep things close enough against the wind in the first half that they might have a chance, and they are applying the pressure they need to do that. So Squids need to lift here against the wind, find a way to get back, moving the ball forward. It's more difficult when they don't have the carry and the kicks like they did in the first half.
That's absolutely right. Nice organized center tap for Fort Lauderdale. Unfortunately, the hand pass went to the wrong player, Des Moines. Des Moines hand pass off to a big kick right about center, half forward for Des Moines. Cleaned up by Fort Lauderdale, sends it right back down that far wing where most of this game has happened. Picked off by Des Moines. Can't see the number there. Probably going to go right down the wing again, and it does. Kind of wobbly kick, probably not the intended distance, out over the boundary line.
Yeah, kick let him down a little bit there. 2 instances and very different results, or different strategies there for Des Moines. Pair of intercept marks. The first one they play on very quickly. That accordion effect kicks in again. They're able to very quickly target pockets that open up in the middle of the ground because that accordion was so stretched when they took the intercept in the transition. The second one there, kick let him down in the end, but he took his time. He found a target. If he'd connected that would have worked and they would have been building forward. So 2 different strategies for moving the ball forward off an intercept mark.
So it looks like we have another boundary line throw in coming. Waiting for that to come to fruition here. Here we go. Kind of a low ball, big pack of players there. One big hand, big mitt came out and tapped it to the ground, collected by the Fort Lauderdale player. Kick that was smothered over the boundary line. So
Boundary throw, apologize here. Boundary throw here. We're seeing the kind of slog right in the middle of the ground where if the sides lift, Des Moines gets back into this game or the Squids shut them down. These are these 50-50 moments. We'll see who can capitalize on it.
Absolutely. Still looking pretty scrappy at the moment. Just no team able to get terribly organized. Boundary line, or throw incoming. Not the best throw, but here we go. Kick, looks like it hit the back of a Des Moines player, that kick. Kicked along the boundary line, a little soccer action. Finally picked up by number 22, looks like. Trying to get a hand pass on, but just doesn't have any options. And the Squids now have numbers around the footy and are clear with space. Beautiful looking kick. Unfortunately, Wayne got that one and a behind.
Squids against the flow of play there, but this is what they need, right, to try to reject the surges by Des Moines. Of course, they would have loved to convert that for a major, but a good sign here. If they can lock in on the kick out, give themselves another chance at the sticks, they get multiple chances, multiple opportunities at this end of the field while they're down here.
Yeah.
And there we see it right there. Intercept mark, he was right in that passing lane, did a great job, and he actually moved it on quickly. And a mark inside 50. Really well done by the Squids there. Right.
And keeping it on there, we'll call it upwind, takes away that advantage, that wind advantage that Des Moines now have. And so, yeah, they give themselves multiple chances, and if it goes off to a bind, well, that's okay. We'll just lock it in until we get the major.
So he's probably about a 30-degree angle here and kicking straight into the wind. We'll see how he directs this off the boot. Started right and stayed right and didn't make the distance. So that wind's starting to have an impact. You know, the purchase he got off the boot there was not sufficient enough to make the distance. The wind definitely would have impacted that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it caught the full forward a little unawares, and unfortunately didn't take that mark that he has intended. But yeah, so we had a minor score there. Kick out coming for Des Moines. Decides to play on. Chip kick, that was good organization by Des Moines, using a bit of space. Looks like a little bit of laddering going on there. And, oh, there might have been a push in the back. No, it was not a push in the back. Don't argue. He's under pressure. Gets the hand pass away. Play on, says the umpire. No options there. Little, oh, now he found space. Number 85. Not sure who that played. Inside out hand pass. Doesn't quite get on the hands of number 37. Big tackle there. He's going to get up slowly. I know I would. Squid now trying to heard a whistle. That might be something down the field.
I think Millsy called something downfield. Can't quite figure out the signal here. But everyone's acting like it's a Des Moines kick. Do we have a ball up there? No, okay, so Des Moines kick. We still missing the signal here, and I see the umpire evaluator sitting here in front of us, so we'll put a word onto him about getting those really clear demonstrative signals from the umpires.
So again, just not reading the flight of the footy just right, and Fort Lauderdale was able to intercept that mark. Quick hand pass, nice way to gather that quick hand pass out the back to give yourself a chance. Short kick, bounce right into the hands of number 85, I think his name has been. He's got a lot of touches, that guy. We don't have his name on the roster.
Squids here taking advantage. You know, been on this end of the field for a while now. It's the 5th inside 50 here in about the last 2 minutes. They keep making chances, keep finding behinds, but it's a good sign for them. You know, obviously you'd like those to be major scores, but as long as they're keeping the ball on this end and locking it in, they keep giving themselves another chance to find the sticks.
Right. And we're probably about halfway through it, and maybe a little more through this second half, so the urgency is starting to seep in. If you're a Des Moines player, we need to get this ball into the danger zone. Nice quick kick out. That was actually a really good kick out to the Des Moines player. Going right down the wing. Little chip kick. Did not have its intended effect. But Des Moines just trying to driving that ball forward, doing the best they can. Broken tackle. Hand pass. It was like in slow motion. Big fella just wouldn't go down. Unfortunately, Fort Lauderdale were able to kick that back to a player in the pocket all by himself. Gets a set shot, wobbly kick, off target, another minor score.
With that amount of time, they'd be disappointed in that result. That's one you'd want to convert for sure.
Yep.
Des Moines, nice build out there. Ended up through Rieger, so they kick out from goal towards the boundary on the winded side, which makes sense. They go inboard from there, which I love. Skill execution area if ball spills to the ground, but that was okay. They had numbers nearby, and big fella 79 Rieger from Kansas City on the Des Moines side there shed the tackle. That was the type of buildup they'd want to see, but ended up losing possession after that. Squids go back inside a little leisurely. Probably could have converted for 6 and didn't.
Yeah. Maybe his teammate should have told him he was alone. Maybe thought he was under pressure, but either way, tap goes out the back, right in front of goal, maybe 20 meters out or so. Another missed kick. These guys need to maybe settle, rely on their clubmates to tell them, am I hot or am I not? Let me take a breath and kick this ball straight. But still applying pressure, even those 1 points are going to add up.
4 straight behinds for the Squids here. You'd like that to see that be 4 straight majors. They would have closed the lid on this game, but Des Moines very much still in it. But the Squids finding a way now against the wind to apply the pressure.
Joey Abdallah there running, using some space. Some good running here by Des Moines, looking for an option, not really finding anything. Getting a couple of Shepherds now under pressure. That's holding the ball. Maybe not the best decision. Joey maybe should have hung on to that and relied on his teammates to protect him. But I think we're seeing sort of the execution of a plan, a kick out from Des Moines, just kind of not getting into the forward 50. So kick to space, knocked to ground. Moines trying to get it out. Looks like it's holding the ball. And it is. Quick play on by Fort Lauderdale with the number 4. Number 4 with a kick. That's Aaron Bloom. The ball goes to ground. 2 players fighting for the ball. Punched out. Again, bodies just crashing in. It's going to be a free.
Heater, I think we're starting to see the early effects of the fatigue that's setting in. The heat's, we're well into the high 80s at this point. There's a lot more walking on the field, so there's some fatigue setting in. Guys' legs are getting heavy, dehydration's maybe starting to have an impact, and so it's harder to will yourself to run when it's this hot, particularly defensively. The ball's far away from you and you're just not covering the ground.
Yeah, and case in point, when you turned your head, all the players had their hands on their hips, and there's a quick kick in to the number 84 full forward, who probably took 3 steps to take that mark. And that looks good to me. And looks good to the goal umpire. So a major score finally for Fort Lauderdale. Looks like they're extending the lead here to a comfortable, at a comfortable distance. So we have 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points, 5 goals, 6 points, 44 points. That's a pretty big margin with here probably maybe 10-ish minutes left, if that.
Yeah, we'll have to work with our scoreboard folks there because the math's not quite working out. 5 goals, 6 should be 36 for the Squids on the board. So it's, yeah, 3 goals, 4 should be the margin.
Okay.
22 would make more sense.
It was my understanding there would be no math, and thank God that they don't ask us. Ask me anyway. So center bounce, we'll call it a center bounce, not a center bounce anymore at this level, but anyway, bottled up. No, but not bottled up. Free to Fort Lauderdale. Looks like they got another chance to ball to their forward line.
Squids showing a bit of class here against the wind, but they've made the adjustments halfway through here the second half. It really stemmed the flow. Des Moines was had the tails up a bit, was getting some chances. It's been quite a few minutes since they've had a forward 50 entry. The Squids have largely kept the ball in their forward half. Rebounds across their halfback and mid lines have really helped them, and then they've had the targets up there. And aside from all the behinds, have done a great job of reversing the flow here in the second term.
Yeah, absolutely. So time ticking away here for Des Moines to create something amazing. Looks like a boundary line throw-in coming here in the next few seconds. Here we go. Ball goes up. 2 big men collide, gathered by Fort Lauderdale, immediately wrapped up, ball squirts out. I believe that was calling like a hard tackle, maybe, I don't know. Maybe over shoulder.
Would have been a sling tackle or a high. It's not seeing the signals like we should. nice switch of play here from the Squids. He chooses to play on, so Squids starting to get their tails up. They're feeling the opportunities to go and play on quickly, but nice intercept mark by 47 there. Doran Banks.
Tries to play on with a hand pass, so it didn't hit target, but the Des Moines player was able to gather that up, get himself organized. Again, that wind holding up the footy just a little bit. Des Moines able to, number 85, to take that with a hand pass. Oh, almost cut off. Trying to get themselves cleaned up. Hand pass again. That's good. That's a good decision. Not sure about the kick in terms of decision, but here we are. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty all day. And, well, no, not a penalty. Game has ended. So the final on the Cooper scoreboard, 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points for Des Moines, 5 goals, 6 behinds, 34 points, 36 points for Fort Lauderdale. Final thoughts, Sars?
Yeah, you know, if you were Fort Lauderdale, you'd be thrilled that the guys adjusted the way they did in the second half. Des Moines was really pressing and threatening to pull even there with a couple more scores, but the Squids steadied, found ways to adjust against the wind, and did that in the end. I think if you look at the stats on the day, you know, they would have had more marks, more contested marks, and in the end, went out winners. Not as accurate kicking as they would have liked. The score could have gotten out worse than it did for them, but really a pretty good showing from them because of the resilience and the adjustments.
Absolutely, and winning, as we know, is better than losing any time. Well, that's all we have for now. I'm Heath, this is Dan, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
The USAFL 2024 Nationals is brought to you by Tasmanian, the quiet pursuit of the extraordinary. Cooper's, Australian made and owned. Cooper's Beer. Visit Austin, live music capital of the world. Two Hands Hospitality, fueling your lifestyle. Watch AFL, stream every match. Devil's Corner, Tasmania. HBC Event Services, Play Aussie, Premier Sports Medicine, and by the Movember Foundation.